afternoon. I think, yes, it is afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm real excited to be here. Welcome to our ELA Tech Talk. This is going to be talking about using tools in a multi-level classroom, so we're kind of excited about this. A little bit different from what we've gone over, but there is a reason behind our madness. So today, I am Mariah Guillen. I will be doing the presentation. And the lovely Monse is going to be the moderator. So if you have any questions, you guys can put them in the chat box, send us an email. Either one, we're here for you to support you in anything that you need. Anytime during this presentation, feel free to ask questions. It's all right. We want to make sure that we are answering and making the most of the time that we have together. Okay. Please remember as you're joining to mute yourself. At the end, we might take questions. We might just do whoever's commenting in the chat box. But for the duration of the presentation, please make sure you are muted, as Monse said earlier. So let's get started. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking and discussing what tools and what things did we need to present to teachers in New Mexico. And one of the ideas that we came up with was to do a survey to see what the teachers actually wanted. So many of you filled out the survey, we read it, and now we're responding to it. So one of the things that y'all asked for was a review of English Central. I think it was about 4 weeks ago, I did a presentation on English Central and a couple of other online applications. And more people wanted just a little bit more information on it. So today we're going to be talking about that and how to use it in a multi-level classroom. Another thing that we're going to be talking about is going outside, like not worrying about learning additional websites and stuff like that, because sometimes we just don't have time. So we're just going to be talking about assignments and materials that you can use in your multi-level classrooms. And I know it's really hard when we have students that are really advanced and students that are really low and they come together in one classroom. It gets rather difficult, but I'm hoping that these tools help you and kind of guide you a little bit more to building up that support in your classroom. So why English Central? There are so many programs out there and it's kind of hard to filter out through them. So of all the websites, why English Central? English Central, number one, and my most favorite reason of all, it is free. You know, I can't get enough of free stuff. So it is a free program and it's really, really easy to use. There are so many options in it that sometimes it can be like a little overwhelming if you're not too comfortable with it. But today we're going to try to get through that and make sure that you feel comfortable with using a program like this. So English Central has material for all levels of students. It targets listening, reading, and writing skills and speaking skills for many of our students. So it's just a really good, well-rounded website that has been effective in my classes. So what we're going to go over today in English Central is how to create a classroom. We're going to talk about the teacher's view. We're going to talk about adding students. We're going to talk about making goals and adding content. And then I'm going to turn around and show you the student view. How are the students going to see this? What are they able to do? What are they not able to do? How can you monitor that? And that's going to be in our reports. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the app that is available, because not all of our students have computers. They will need something that is mobile friendly. And this is another reason why English Central is so great, is because it has an app. It is very mobile friendly. And personally, I like it better on the phone, on the app, than I do on the computer. So we're just gonna go over these right quick. So with the logistics right quick, you have the teacher link, which is going to be englishcentral.com/academic. The student link will just be englishcentral.com. They just need to go to the website and log in. For teachers, you do need to make sure you go to that /academic site. So we're gonna go there right quick. Wow. And we're gonna explore this. So here I have englishcentral.com/academic. And to sign in, you can either put in all this information. It does say free, so it's just real quick. What's your background and all that. It's nothing more than this. Or you can register with Google. Now, I hate making passwords and having to remember them all. So I just tie it all with my Google account. So I'm just going to go ahead and register in with Google. And it's going to take me to this page. Now, every time you sign in, it doesn't matter if you have an account or if you're just making an account, you are always going to come to this page. So it says create your class, create your curriculum, enroll students. That's great. I'm just going to get it started because I already have it. And then we come to our dashboard. So if you'll notice up here, it has video, courses, vocabulary. If I just wanted to search the website, I could do that just by looking through here and figuring out what I wanted. But this teach button is going to be the most important because that's where you're going to be able to assign all of your classes or create classes and all that. So what I want to do right now is we are going to go to actions. So under actions, you are going to add your school or create a class. I've already added my school. Once when I first logged in here and I first created this account, it asked for my school. So I just created my school. And then to add a class, I'm just going to come here and I'm going to say conversation. Ooh, wow. Conversation class 2020. Okay. And it's going to have a school name here. So if you are teaching at multiple locations and you want to kind of keep everything organized, you can add the school there. But most of us are just at one school and we don't need all of that. So just keep the one school. If you need to add more, that's fine. Create your class name and then say add. So it's pretty simple, not a whole lot of things. You don't have to add street names or anything like that. You just need to make sure you add it and then it'll create this classroom right here. And you can know that you're in that classroom because right here it says Conversation Class 2020, which is what I just named it. So now add your students. There are two ways you could do this. You can copy this link and put it into your classroom, whether you're doing a Google Classroom or if you're face-to-face. I don't think any of us here in the state of New Mexico are in face-to-face classes. I know we're kind of trying, and this is really weird time. So you could just present this any way you wanted. I typically don't do URLs because I never know what my students are doing, and they usually go off on these rabbit trails. So it's up to you if you just want to copy the URL, give it to your students, and they can enroll, or you can type in their email addresses. So for this, anytime I am doing this, I will use usually my personal email. So right now I'm using my NMDELT email to create this English Central portal. And to have a student just like a filler, either I will ask one of our teachers if I could use them as a sample, or I'll use my personal account. It just depends on how picky your server is. For this one, it doesn't care what email it is. It just wants to make sure that you have some sort of email. So I'm going to use my personal email just to have as a filler student, and I'm going to add them in there. Now, what you will notice is because I've already done this as a student, you have all my information here. So it gives me my name, it gives the email address. This account status means basic. It means that I have not paid for anything else. So in this English Central, you have two different types of account. You either have a basic account or upgraded account. Upgraded is going to cost money, but you can get pretty much the same things with the free account as you could the upgraded account. So we just leave it as basic. It's up to the students if they want to purchase that, but it is not necessary at all. Right here, once I get more advanced and start practicing and doing activities, a level will pop up for them, and you'll be able to see exactly how well they're doing in your course. It does connect with everything. So if they download the app on their phone, you'll actually be able to see that. And this kind of gives us a better idea of who has computer access versus who doesn't. So you get that idea of if maybe you're doing other assignments, you kind of get maybe the majority of your class can do this assignment because it's not mobile friendly, or which assignments are. So this is really good just to see who has that or not. This expiring is with that account. It tells you when their account is expiring if they have it upgraded. Remember, because this is a basic account, there is no expiration date. And then the groups, and that's the next part that I want to go to. So we can come here and we can add a group. So one of the things that we're talking about is multi-level classes. If you have a class where you have several levels, you can group your students just so that they get specific activities if you want that. So here at CCC, we have a conversation club class, which is all of the students get together for 1 hour and we go over vocab, we go over speaking skills, and we just do a lot of things, but it is from our levels 1s to our levels 4s. So if you wanted to just kind of group them up, maybe you want your level 4s to do something a little bit higher and your level 1s to do something lower, that would be fine. And you could do that easily by creating a group. Now, with creating a group, that means you can give the exact same instructions, just the materials are going to be different if you assign it to that group. So let's just, for the sake of this, I'm going to create a group. I'm going to say high level. You don't need to add groups. Let me make like a note right there. You do not need to add groups. This is only if you wanted to add a group. Sometimes for me, it really depends on what I'm doing. It just depends on your style. If you want to separate, kind of have a balance, it's up to you. But you would do the same thing. You would just add your students in here. Oh, maybe not. There we go. And we can do this here in a little bit. But that's what you would do. And you can also add a teacher, a co-teacher, if you do want to have somebody else supporting you. In our classes, we don't have any co-teachers. So this is a button that I wouldn't use, but it would be the same thing. You would just come in here, type in their email address, and then send them a message if you wanted to, and then just send it to them so they can join. So those are all the actions that you can do of adding students, creating a classroom. It's pretty, there's not a whole lot of steps to it. Let me say it like that. There's not a lot of steps. I know some of the programs that we've been looking at have you do like 3 or 4 different steps before you actually are able to create a classroom. With this, it is just, create one thing, one name, add. So I believe that that's the first part of the action. So we have our class made, we're doing great. Now what part is to develop your curriculum or to add assignments. The first part is going to create a goal. Now, I believe goals are amazing. You absolutely need to build up the skill for students. A lot of students come in through our programs, both HSE and ESL. They come through with this notion that they just want to do this and they don't have a goal. They don't have a plan. They just know that they want to. So with setting goals, and this is like a teacher goal, with setting goals, it gives them something to look forward to, something that they have to challenge themselves and kind of get comfortable with, understanding that there is something that they have to reach by the end of a week, by the end of 2 weeks. It doesn't matter what it is. You just have to develop a goal to show them that they have to be responsible. One of the things that we've noticed, especially within this pandemic time, is whenever we put materials online for students to do, if we do not set a date, like a timeline, a deadline for them, students are not likely to do the assignments. Why? It's not a goal. If we just leave the assignment open and say, okay, get to it, they won't do it. So if you have a goal, it pushes the student to get it done in that timely manner. Now, not all students, I understand that. There are some students who still do it on their own time, but there is a remarkable increase in the amount of students that actually get it done because there is a deadline. So when you're setting goals, you can do it weekly or monthly. It doesn't matter. I like to say weekly because if you give them monthly, then they'll wait till the very last minute to do it. And even with weekly, it's the same thing. But you want to think about what they can do within that time frame. And you can change the date. You can do so much with this. And I'm going to set my class start date for next Monday. And we're going to say we'll go 4 weeks. Oh, I can't count. We'll pretend like that's 4 weeks. I don't think it is. So right here, what videos they can watch. And if you remember, we talked about the videos and the assignments in the webinar about 4 weeks ago, so I'm not going to go over that. But there are videos that you can assign for them to watch, or they can watch videos on their own. But the goal is for them to watch 5 videos. In a week, I think 5 videos is good. That means 1 video a day pretty much, because I don't give Saturday and Sundays. I don't count those as part of the week because everybody's busy. So 5 videos in a week, that's good. With the vocab or the words, I say about 10 words a week so that they get an idea of what a strong foundation of the words that they have. And so I do that. And then speaking lines, let's just go down to 30. Now, this is beautiful. This is like one of the things I absolutely love because it gives us study time. I know for our program, we were like trying to figure out, well, if they do this much in one day, maybe it's about an hour, maybe it's about 2 hours. What is this? With this right here, it shows me during this 1 week, they will study 1 hour and 1.3 hours during that week if we set it at this, which isn't bad. So if you're looking for time, like something that you can say, okay, this is going to take about this much time, this is where you're going to want to see that. And you're going to want to really focus in on maybe more time or less time. So you could play around with these numbers. If you're, well, I'm going to be nice, but like me, I have a problem when it's a really odd number. So I will go around, there we go, 1.5. I like that number. So I will just play around with it until I get a number that I really feel comfortable with. And even then, 40 lines isn't bad for them to learn to speak. So after I've done setting my goals, I'm going to hit continue. And this is where I can choose the videos that I want. So here I'm going to go to videos. And I can search anything. So let's talk about careers. And right here is showing me that I have 502 careers. Now, with the same thing, you're going to want to look at the level. You can look at the lesson plan, see what it is. You can look at the transcripts. You can watch the video if you wanted, just to see what exactly you're getting into. So if you have a mixed level, you might want to pick something that is a little bit lower, a little bit higher. If you only have a single level class, it just depends on what you need or what you're really, really looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'm going to go with this one. And all I'm going to do is hit this button that says add to class. I'm going to add it. And right here, it shows me all of my classes. And so under here, I have my school and then I have my class. And this right here is going to be that group that I made. So you can put it in the whole class or you can put it in the group. It really depends up to you to figure out where exactly you want it. So for this one, I'm going to put it in the whole class rather than the group. And right there, it says it's added. I'm done, so I can keep searching and go on. Once I am done completely, I'll just hit the X and I know it's right here. So, oops, excuse me, there we go. So what this is going to do is going to show me exactly what videos I have here and what videos are going to be presented to the students that they have to work on. And I'm going to go to my vocab and I'm going to select a word list and I'm going to go with academic vocab. Now, academic vocab, and this is where you can go up here and look at all the vocabulary words and kind of figure out what words are which, excuse me. But the academic vocab is going to be things that they learn in school, like stand up, sit down, write, jot this down, words that they need to understand for the academic field. It's going to go on to fill out an application or explore careers. It's just going to continue with the academic vocabulary. So, excuse me, start course at word rank. So this is the level. What level do you want them to start out? I like to start at level 1 so that they can build on it. And even for the advanced students, it's a good idea to start them out at the bottom so that they can refresh on those words, because those words aren't going to go away. They just need to keep on building up those skills. Number of weeks, I'm going to say 4. I want them to learn 30 words a week. That is not true. I want them to learn 10. So by the end of 4 weeks, they should learn about 40 new words. So the last part that I'm going to do is the question type. Question type, if you remember from the past webinar, is just how the questions are presented. So we could have typing with hints, so it's going to give them maybe 1 or 2 letters of the words and they get to fill it in. Typing without hints, where they just give them a sentence and they have to fill in the blank. Or the speaking with hints, so they'll give them something to listen to and then some of it has hints and they can type it in. For me, I like giving them a challenge, so I'm going to say mixed. And then afterwards, I'm just going to hit add and I'm done. So to publish this, I would just hit done. And it shows right here my goals and the videos that I have on this. So you can, at any time, you could always add or take away from this. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever you feel like. All right. Next part is the reports. So if I go here, I'm going to go to overall right quick. And this is going to show me my class as a whole. So for this student, she hasn't, or myself, I haven't done anything because I haven't started this, but it will show you afterwards. And I'm going to switch over to one of my classes so you can see. I think it's this one. All right. So for this student, we can see that she did 7% of her assignment. Her goal is 100 and she's only done 7%. So right here, it gives a breakdown of the videos watched, the words that she was quizzed with, and the lines that she was spoken. So really all she did was watch the video. So her goal aren't completed, and this gives you an opportunity to figure out which students you need to target and reach out to help boost them and support them. You can go very specific. You can look at the courses. You can look at the videos that have been watched. So if I come here, I see her name again. This is the video that she watched. She watched only one. If I click here, it's going to show me specifically which videos she's done. And this isn't going to have any content, again, because I didn't go through it and I didn't fill it out as a student, but it would give me the same thing. It would show me the words. It would show me how many words she has done. And then here, it would show me, there's no test, but it would show me how well she's doing on the test. Same things with the lines. It would show me how many lines she's listened to, what the goal is, and it would show me how well she's been doing here under pronunciation. Okay, right here it says insufficient data. So it wouldn't be until that moment when the student has actually done it that you'll be able to see which words they are saying wrong and how can you help build up that support and that vocabulary. So this is the teacher portal, and this is amazing. The week before, or when I first did this webinar, I couldn't find this one very well. Like I had a hard time. I knew there was a teacher portal, but I think they were charging for it. Or maybe I just couldn't find it very well, but it is here now and it's very, very easy to use. I'm excited to get using it into my classrooms. There's just so much that you could do on here, and I love the reporting because it really helps target maybe specific vocab and goals that you want to do with the class. So before we go on, are there any questions on this part specifically? I don't want to jump to the next part until we've gotten over this. So
Naraya, thank you for that. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So there is one quick question, and I think we can decide by Guillermo.
Mm-hmm.
He asked if the website, you can use this program for a HSE or GED instruction. Do you have experience doing that, or it's just for ESL?
With the HSE, I guess what we could actually use it for is for our low literacy students to help build up the typing skills, the listening skills, stuff like that. It wouldn't really be a program that I would use for HSE because it's not completely, HSE students don't really need the speaking and learning new vocab support. In some cases, yes, it would just depend. I would probably do it with our really, really low students.
And let me ask you another question. Do you have reading passages there, or it's just videos and basically conversation?
It's videos, conversation with some supported vocab.
Okay. Fantastic.
So the reading comes in with as they're reading the test or as they're trying to understand the vocab support. That's where a lot of the reading portion, the reading comprehension comes into play.
And then you think that it's not complex enough for an advanced, let's say, HSE student, correct?
No, not for
Okay.
advanced.
Okay. Thank you for that. Any other questions? Somebody's asking, Maria Hernandez is asking if this program is only for people that have computers at home.
No, so thank you. I forgot about that part. So no, there is actually an app. And if you just go to your App Store or your Google Play Store, you can type in English Central, and then you download it. And the app, I feel, and I use the app a lot more, the app is user-friendly. It is so nice. It's very convenient. Everything is very straightforward. So no, it's not just for the computer. It definitely can be used on the phone, and it is very mobile friendly.
Yeah, and I think you even said in the beginning that you love the app, correct?
Yes, I prefer the app over the computer.
Fantastic. So we have a couple more questions, Mariah. One,
Okay.
let me see here. Is the app free?
Yes.
Okay, the app is free, so anyone can get it. That's very good. Those are very good news. And the other question from Teresa is that, can you choose videos from outside of the program, for example, YouTube? Or do you need to choose videos within this program?
That is a great question. I believe it is only videos from this program. I'm not sure if you can upload videos from YouTube. But this website has a very huge database of videos.
Mm-hmm. And also because the videos have the activities, the closed caption and the speaking activities already embedded, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you guys for participating. If we don't have any other questions, we're just gonna keep moving forward with the presentation.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So the next part that I'm going to go over, let's come down to my presentation. Okay, so best practices is how can I use this in the classroom effectively? And I think I've gone over this pretty well. Especially for multi-level classes, it's really, really hard to figure out. I know there's been times where I've struggled and I'm like, oh, I have level 1s and level 3s. How can I do this? This really balances out to figure out and target problem areas with speaking and understanding, comprehension, listening, all of that. This is really good for just pinpointing those areas and expanding on it. So going with that, expanding, a lot of us get so overwhelmed. And if you're like me, I wake up in the morning and I have like 50 emails. A lot of them are ads of this and that, and try this program, try that program. So what activities can we do that aren't or that don't require an outside website? And in the last 4 weeks, when we had our ESL classes, I found some activities that I absolutely loved, and the students loved them. They were frustrating, they were challenging, but it really helped them target some of these problems that they were having. So the first one is scavenger hunts. And I love doing this in class, and I didn't know how well it was going to go online, but it went wonderfully online. So for my scavenger hunt, I'm going to come here to my Google Classroom right quick. So for the scavenger hunt, what I did was just create a basic chart, ABCs all the way down. And my directions were go around your house and find something that starts with that letter. Now, for my advanced students, I just said, if you can, write one sentence. And they understood, okay, yes, I have to write one sentence. That really wasn't a suggestion. That was write one sentence using that word. So this is one of my higher level students. And she wrote, I ate an apple this morning. And that was really good because it built up the idea of using the whole sentence, using verbs, structuring her sentences, and it made her really explore outside of the computer to look around her and think, okay, what do I have in my house? What vocab words can I use to actually build up these sentences? And I talked with her afterwards, and because there was some words on here that I was like, I'm not sure if that's really what she had or if she Googled, and sure enough, she had them all around her house. And it was really exciting to see just the things that she made up. So like for Q, I ate quince. I think she meant quinoa. But it was just really fun to see what words that they came up with. And this activity took them a lot longer than they thought it would take. But they were able, like I said, they are in their homes and they don't have a lot of English communication in some cases. And so just being able to take time to stop, look around, trying to find these vocab words was very, very challenging for them, but it worked out really great. So this is one of my upper level students. Lower level, they did something different where they just looked around for vocab words. They didn't put sentences together. They have very basic sentences, very basic vocab. So they just looked around and tried to find words that they could put in. This one is a little bit more advanced. He's in a lower level, but he's a little bit more advanced. But he did the same thing. He was trying to figure out, and he did this because he still works. So he went to work and he was looking for vocab words and he was asking questions. And I reached out to him as well. And I wanted to see where exactly he got some of these words, because like factory. And so he just told me a little bit more of what he was doing and how he was finding these words. And it just worked out great because they had to think outside the box. They really had to stop and look and try to comprehend in English rather than in their native language. So this is a really good activity to do at home. It takes maybe 10 minutes. And I say 10 minutes because, we all have different computer skills, but maybe 10 minutes at max just to create the template. And all I did was create a chart, fill in with the ABCs, and everything else was left blank. And they just had to fill it in. So this is a really nice activity, just real quick. Doesn't take a whole lot of planning, but it is very, very effective. And so that is probably one of my favorites. So the scavenger hunt is really good. The second one that I like doing makes them focus on their listening skills, which is one of the things that I've seen our ELA students struggle with, is those listening skills. And this is fun because you can pair it up with comprehension questions or open-ended questions, inferencing, drawing conclusions. Like, you can do so much with these. But I just picked a random song. Well, maybe not too random. I'm very much like country girl. I like my country music. So I picked country music. And all I did was get the song. I got the lyrics. And I took out some of the words that I knew that they struggled hearing and understanding. So this one was If You See Her. It's by Reba McEntire. But I knew that they had problems with some of the pronouns, like him and her. They switch them up all the time. So what I did is I just took them out, and you can see where this student filled it back in. But I just left a line blank. So if you see blank. So their goal was to listen to the YouTube video, which I provided for them as well. And as they were listening, they had to fill in the blanks. Now, this one was really, really fun because it made me understand which words they heard and understood, but which ones they still didn't know how to write. So I don't know, he put I don't now. So this was really great for me as a teacher to go back and look at those vocab words and see what exactly we needed to work on a little bit more. And I don't pick songs that are too long or too confusing. I was really going to go for like a really upbeat kind of pop song. And I knew if I couldn't keep up with it as the song was going, it was going to be really difficult for them. So just pick a song, maybe target something that has maybe description words or verbs or nouns. It really depends on what your vocab content is and how you want to present that song. So this one was I've done it with both my upper and lower classes. Here's another one that was just a little bit more upbeat, a little bit faster. And it's the same thing. It's just I went through, I copied a song, copied the lyrics, and then the students went back and filled it in. So this one was a fast song. And I looked for the words that I knew that they would have trouble with. So words that sounded like kiss and miss. This too. Talking past tense verbs. So tea parties. So this is probably one, I haven't graded this one yet because she just turned it in. But this is one that I would go back and I would say, okay, you spelled this wrong. Let's work on the spelling now. So these would have been really, really great to use in the classroom. Like I said, super, super easy. All you have to do is find a song, copy the lyrics and take out some of those vocab words and have them listen to it and fill in the blanks. And the last one that I have is book comprehension, which is the exact same thing. And I kind of got this from doing the songs. I've kind of seen another teacher do this. So I just figured what song or what books would be fun. And I like kids' books. So I just look on the internet and find a book that I feel would be interesting, something that would challenge the students a little bit. So if you haven't read it, this is like one of my favorite books, Click, Clack, Moo, Cows That Type. So all I would do is copy this, same thing, copy the transcripts, paste it into a document, and then take out some of the words that they are having trouble with, and then pair it with a video. So all of these are, I try to find something that has a video online that doesn't have the words or anything transcribed on it. And then I just make sure that I take out the words that I know they would be struggling with. So one of the things here, if I was doing this one, I would probably do like day, dear, cold, night, electric, blanket, sincerely, words that I know that they need to work on a little bit. Maybe not sincerely, but those are just some target words that you would want to see. So it's really up to you how you want to do this. Now with the books, it's not always easy to find the transcribed PDF online and a YouTube reading of it. But if you wanted to take a little bit more time and type it out yourself, you could. Maybe not the whole thing because you don't want to do like copyright violations, but just part of it, you know, fill in the blanks, something that would be instructional rather than the whole thing. So, but it's the exact same thing as doing the listening to a song or the song listening activity. And again, you can pair this up. It doesn't have to just be this. You can pair it up with extended questions, you know, what is the tone of the article? What is the point of view? So if we were talking, I know this question came up earlier with HSE. If we're talking about HSE, you could have them listen to the song instead and then talk about it, respond to it. What are some of the inferences? How do you think they were feeling? What can we draw? What conclusions can we draw? It just really depends on how you want to use these. And there are so many ways you can. Again, you don't have to go to an outside website to get ideas or to subscribe to something and use it. Try to think about activities that you can use right from your computer. All right. Are there any questions, Monse?
No, at the moment, but actually somebody asked if you, for English Central, if you could share the link on Google Classroom. How do you share the content to Google Classroom?
So for Google Classroom, what I would probably do is just make an announcement and say, go to English Central, or are we talking about adding a student? I mean, having a student log in?
I think the question was related, if you can share the program, you can link into Google Classroom. And so I think you showed that during the last presentation, correct?
I did.
Okay.
And so the best thing is just to copy the link and add it as like an announcement or a material. There is no direct link to like join together with Google Classroom. They don't have that option, but you can always just copy the link and put it in on an announcement, materials, anything like that.
Okay, thank you. We don't have any other questions. So this is the moment. You also, is this the end of the presentation, Mariah?
This is the end of the presentation.
Perfect. Yeah, so thank you. And please, you can use the chat or you can use the microphone if you really want to ask a question to Mariah. If no, feel free to email her directly or go to our workplace space and ask questions. What was the date of the webinar? Do you remember the webinar of Google? The last one that you did with English Central.
Let me see. It was
Nancy. Don't worry. I think we can put all the webinars on the workplace, and also the recording is sent to us. Okay, so now what we are going to do, Maria, you want to talk about the website?
Yes, I will do that.
Thank you.
Again, if you have any questions, need ideas, need any support, you can contact us, John, Monse, or myself. These are our email addresses. So just shoot us an email, whatever you're comfortable with. You can always join our Facebook workplace page. I think a lot of you are on there. And today we are launching our ELA website, and we're really excited for this because we've been working on it for quite a while.
And it's still a work in progress too.
Yes.
So we need your help as well.
It is still a work in progress, but we are excited because we wanted to put all of our resources into one space, because I know sometimes it's hard going back through emails, trying to find this, trying to find that. So what we wanted to do is just have one spot where we can really build a good support for ELA teachers. And I know sometimes the ELA, we feel like we kind of get shuffled into the corner. So we just wanted to build a really good place that you guys could come to. So welcome to the New Mexico Adult Education ELA webpage. This is a work in progress. We're going to be adding stuff as much as we can. If you feel like there's something that you would like on here, some support, let us know so we can kind of incorporate that. But there are so many different things here. We have the Meet the Team where you can, again, find our email addresses, because I know it was on my PowerPoint. If you're like me, I don't always have a notebook right next to me. So afterwards, I'm like, I think it was abcqr@nmdelt.org. So here we have all of our email addresses. You can contact us any way you want to. Probably not by phone because none of us are in office yet, but definitely through email. You can connect with us on the workplace, and we do have links that will take you directly to these pages. We have the resources page, which we're really excited about. If you want to find a program in New Mexico, you can come here, and our map should be right here. The map is going to show you where in New Mexico we have a program. If you don't see your program on here, please contact one of us so we can put it on there. We got this information online, so we tried to get as much as we could. But again, if you don't see your program on here, just let us know. We do have all of our tech talks are going to be right here. I think the only one that is missing is the one that I believe Nancy was asking for, but we'll have it on here soon. And then we have resources. A lot of the websites that we've been talking about are going to be right here. Like I said, this is still a work in progress. So if there's stuff missing, don't freak out quite yet. But right here, we have a website, and then we have an overview. And this overview is just a quick, maybe 5-minute video. It's usually less, of how to get on, how to sign on, how to utilize the program effectively. We are still working on this. So some of them you'll see just the website. Some of them you'll see that video that is going to help you, help guide you through it. We're not quite there. Like I said, we're still rolling out. This is our first day actually presenting it to everyone. So it's still very much a work in progress, but this is a start. We wanted to make a support group or a support website for all of our ELA teachers. For the news, we do have the Tech Talk schedule, and we're still working on this, but our next Tech Talk will be in 2 weeks. For the ELA, let me clarify that. For the ELA portion, it's going to be in 2 weeks. We do have Tech Talks every week. There's always something going on. So, but specifically for ELA, it's going to be in 2 weeks, the 28th. Okay. And then lastly is Teacher of the Month, which we are really excited about because, like I said, sometimes as ELA teachers, we feel like we kind of get shuffled under the carpet and left out in the corner. So what we wanted to do is recognize some of our outstanding ELA teachers. So what you could do here is come in, fill out this form to nominate a teacher. It's just a couple of questions, and we ask that you put a picture on there, and then we will be putting pictures up here every month of one teacher who has just outstanding performance. And it's not going to be from us. Like, we're not going to be like, ooh, we'll pick this teacher this month. It's going to be from you. We want your voices to be heard. And like we said, or like I said earlier, is you guys responded to a survey or you guys filled out the survey, we read it, and we're responding now. We want to make sure we are giving you guys the tools that you need to succeed, not the tools that we think you need to succeed. We want to know what you are really, really needing and what support can we give you.
That's actually fantastic what you just said, Mariah, and it's so true. So we are going to share the responses of the survey so you can actually see, but we are trying to address your concerns and needs, and of course we need your help and collaboration. So also the link of the website is going to be available on the main adult education website for the state. So as soon we get that link available there, we are going to share the link with you all. So we want to have everything in one place. So do you guys have any questions for us? Any comments? I don't see any other comments, it seems.
Perfect.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are really excited to start working with you. Well, thank you. And Mariah, thank you for sharing your knowledge, expertise, and giving a great presentation.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you so much. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us again, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.